Have you ever felt trapped in the shadows of your past, yearning for a breakthrough that seems impossible? Imagine living under the oppressive rule of a father whose actions have tainted your heritage and jeopardized your future. This was the reality for Hezekiah, the king of Judah. In a time of widespread idolatry and moral decay, Hezekiah emerged as a beacon of hope and righteousness. His story is not just about ancient battles and divine interventions. It's a powerful testament to resilience, faith, and the transformative power of leadership. Hezekiah's journey from a troubled childhood to a revered ruler offers profound lessons for us today, especially in a world desperate for authentic leadership and unwavering faith. Through his life, we learn about the importance of reform, the strength found in prayer, and the miracles that come from trusting in a higher power. Join us as we delve into the remarkable story of King Hezekiah, a story filled with drama, divine encounters, and inspiring lessons that resonate even today. Before we dive into the first chapter of Hezekiah's life, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories that bridge the ancient past with our modern lives. Hezekiah's early life was marred by the reign of his father, King Ahaz, whose tenure was defined by idolatry and apostasy. Ahaz, influenced by the surrounding pagan nations, led Judah into a period of spiritual decline, erecting altars to foreign gods and even sacrificing his own sons in fire, a practice abhorrent to Yahweh. The young Hezekiah witnessed these abominations, which undoubtedly shaped his resolve to restore the true worship of God when he ascended the throne. Hezekiah's early exposure to such grievous sins sparked a burning desire within him to cleanse his nation and lead it back to righteousness. This contrast between father and son sets the stage for Hezekiah's dramatic reforms and highlights the potential for profound change, even within a single generation. Amidst the political and spiritual chaos, Hezekiah's ascension to the throne was like a breath of fresh air for the people of Judah. Unlike his father, Hezekiah was determined to break free from the shackles of idolatry and reinstate the worship of Yahweh. His commitment to God was not just a reaction to his father's failures, but a deeply personal conviction that would define his reign. Hezekiah's first act as king was a bold declaration of intent to cleanse the temple and restore it to its former glory. This act of purification was not merely symbolic. It was a powerful statement that Judah would once again be a nation under God. Through this, Hezekiah set the tone for his entire reign, one marked by a relentless pursuit of divine approval and national restoration. Hezekiah's reforms were comprehensive and far-reaching, addressing not only the religious practices of the nation but also its moral and social fabric. He reopened the doors of the temple, which had been closed by Ahaz, and called the priests and Levites to consecrate themselves and the temple. This was no small task, given the state of neglect and defilement that had overtaken the sacred spaces. Yet, Hezekiah's leadership inspired a renewed sense of purpose among the clergy, and they set about their work with zeal. The process of cleansing the temple was meticulous and thorough, symbolizing the broader spiritual renewal that Hezekiah sought for his people. His actions demonstrated that true leadership involves not just issuing decrees but actively participating in the restoration process. Hezekiah's dedication to reform extended beyond the temple to the everyday lives of his subjects. He recognized that for true change to take root, it had to permeate all levels of society. Thus, he enacted policies that promoted justice, righteousness, and compassion. Hezekiah's reign was characterized by a return to the Mosaic law, which he believed was the foundation of a just and prosperous society. His efforts were not in vain. Under his rule, Judah experienced a period of spiritual revival and economic prosperity. Hezekiah's story is a powerful reminder that effective leadership is rooted in integrity, vision, and an unwavering commitment to the well-being of the people. From the very beginning of his reign, Hezekiah's vision for Judah was clear: a return to the worship of Yahweh and a rejection of the idolatry that had plagued the nation. His first official act as king was to gather the priests and Levites and command them to sanctify themselves and the temple. This directive was not just about physical cleanliness but spiritual renewal. Hezekiah understood that for his reforms to succeed, the leaders of the religious community needed to be fully committed to the cause. His call to reform was a clarion call to the entire nation, signaling that a new era of righteousness and devotion was at hand. Hezekiah's reforms were rooted in his deep understanding of the scriptures and his unwavering belief in the power of prayer. He knew that for Judah to be restored, the people needed to turn their hearts back to God. He called for a nationwide repentance, urging the people to forsake their idols and return to the worship of Yahweh. This was not an easy task, given the entrenched idolatry that had taken hold of the nation. Yet, Hezekiah's fervent prayers and unwavering faith inspired a groundswell of support. His leadership was characterized by a relentless pursuit of God's favor and a profound commitment to the spiritual renewal of his people. The impact of Hezekiah's reforms was immediate and profound. As the temple was cleansed and the sacrifices resumed, a sense of hope and renewal spread throughout Judah. The people responded to Hezekiah's call with enthusiasm, bringing their offerings and participating in the worship of Yahweh. This renewed sense of spiritual vitality was not just confined to the temple but permeated every aspect of society. Hezekiah's reforms sparked a nationwide revival, as the people began to turn away from their idols and seek the face of God. This spiritual awakening was a testament to the power of righteous leadership and the transformative impact of faith. Hezekiah's call to reform was not just about religious practices but about the moral and ethical renewal of the nation. He understood that for Judah to truly prosper, the people needed to live lives of integrity, justice, and compassion. He enacted policies that promoted social justice and economic fairness, ensuring that the blessings of prosperity were shared by all. Hezekiah's reign was marked by a deep commitment to the well-being of his people, and his reforms laid the foundation for a just and prosperous society. His story is a powerful reminder that true leadership involves not just spiritual renewal but a commitment to the holistic well-being of the people. One of Hezekiah's most significant acts as king was the purification of the temple, which had been desecrated by his father's idolatrous practices. The temple, once the glorious center of worship for Judah, had fallen into disrepair and defilement. Hezekiah's decision to cleanse the temple was a bold and symbolic gesture, signaling the beginning of a new era of worship and devotion to Yahweh. He called upon the priests and Levites to sanctify themselves and begin the arduous task of removing the idols and restoring the temple to its former glory. This act of purification was not just about physical cleanliness but a powerful statement of spiritual renewal. The process of cleansing the temple was meticulous and thorough, reflecting Hezekiah's commitment to restoring true worship in Judah. The priests and Levites worked tirelessly, removing every trace of idolatry and consecrating the temple anew. Hezekiah's leadership in this endeavor was inspirational, as he led by example and demonstrated his unwavering devotion to God. The purification of the temple was a pivotal moment in Hezekiah's reign, as it marked the beginning of a nationwide revival and the restoration of the worship of Yahweh. This act of renewal had a profound impact on the spiritual life of the nation and set the stage for the reforms that would follow. The purification of the temple was not just a physical act but a deeply spiritual one, symbolizing the cleansing of the nation's soul. Hezekiah's commitment to this task was driven by his profound belief in the power of worship and the importance of maintaining a pure and holy sanctuary for God. The removal of idols and the restoration of the temple's sanctity were seen as essential steps in re-establishing Judah's covenant relationship with Yahweh. Hezekiah's actions were a powerful reminder of the importance of maintaining spiritual purity and the transformative power of true worship. His leadership in this endeavor inspired the people of Judah to recommit themselves to God and embrace a life of faith and devotion. The impact of the temple's purification extended far beyond its walls, as it sparked a nationwide revival and renewed sense of spiritual vitality. The people of Judah responded to Hezekiah's call with enthusiasm, participating in the cleansing and rededication of the temple. This act of renewal brought a sense of hope and renewal to the nation, as the people began to turn away from their idols and seek the face of God. Hezekiah's leadership in this endeavor was a testament to his unwavering faith and commitment to the spiritual well-being of his people. The purification of the temple was a pivotal moment in his reign, marking the beginning of a new era of righteousness and devotion in Judah. One of the most remarkable events of Hezekiah's reign was the celebration of the Passover, a festival that had not been observed with such fervor and inclusivity since the days of Solomon. Hezekiah's decision to reinstate the Passover was driven by his desire to unite the people of Judah and Israel in worship and repentance. He sent invitations throughout the land, calling the people to come to Jerusalem and celebrate the Passover together. This was a bold move, as it extended beyond the borders of Judah to the remnants of the northern kingdom of Israel, which had recently been conquered by the Assyrians. Hezekiah's invitation was a call to unity and a return to the covenant relationship with God. The response to Hezekiah's call was overwhelming, as people from all over Judah and Israel came to Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover. This festival was not just a religious observance, but a powerful demonstration of national unity and spiritual renewal. The celebrations were marked by joy and reverence, as the people gathered to offer sacrifices, sing praises, and remember God's deliverance from Egypt. Hezekiah's leadership in this event was inspirational, as he led the people in worship and guided them in observing the rituals with sincerity and devotion. The great Passover of Hezekiah was a watershed moment in his reign, bringing the people together in a profound act of worship and rededication to God. The impact of the Great Passover extended beyond the festival itself, as it sparked a nationwide revival and renewed sense of spiritual vitality. The people of Judah and Israel were deeply moved by the experience, and many returned home with a renewed commitment to live according to God's laws. Hezekiah's leadership in this event was a testament to his vision for a unified and faithful nation, and his ability to inspire the people to embrace a life of devotion and righteousness. The Great Passover of Hezekiah was a powerful reminder of the importance of communal worship and the transformative power of spiritual renewal. His actions during this festival had a lasting impact on the spiritual life of the nation and set the stage for the reforms that would follow. The legacy of the Great Passover of Hezekiah is a testament to the power of faith and the importance of spiritual renewal. This event marked a turning point in the history of Judah, as the people came together in a powerful act of worship and rededication to God. Hezekiah's leadership in this event was a shining example of his commitment to the spiritual well-being of his people and his vision for a unified and faithful nation. The Great Passover of Hezekiah remains a powerful reminder of the importance of maintaining a strong relationship with God and the transformative power of true worship. His actions during this festival continue to inspire and encourage believers today, as they seek to live lives of faith and devotion. Hezekiah's reign was marked by a fervent commitment to eradicating idolatry from Judah. One of his most decisive actions was the destruction of the idols and high places that had proliferated under previous kings. These high places, often located on hilltops and other elevated sites, were centers of pagan worship where the people of Judah had sacrificed to foreign gods. Hezekiah's campaign against idolatry was comprehensive and relentless. He commanded the removal of the altars, smashed the sacred stones, and cut down the Asherah poles. His actions were not merely about physical destruction but about a spiritual cleansing of the nation. By removing these symbols of apostasy, Hezekiah sought to restore Judah's exclusive devotion to Yahweh. The destruction of idols was a bold and risky move, as it directly challenged deeply ingrained practices and beliefs. However, Hezekiah's unwavering faith and determination inspired the people to support his efforts. Hezekiah understood that for Judah to thrive, it needed to be rid of the spiritual impurities that had led it astray. His actions were driven by a deep conviction that true worship could not coexist with idolatry. Hezekiah's campaign was a powerful statement that the nation would no longer tolerate the worship of false gods. This decisive action was instrumental in initiating a period of spiritual renewal and setting the foundation for Judah's return to faithfulness. Hezekiah's efforts to destroy the idols were met with varying degrees of resistance and support. While many of the people embraced his reforms and participated in the removal of the idols, others were reluctant to abandon their traditional practices. Hezekiah's leadership during this period was critical, as he navigated the complexities of leading a divided nation. His ability to inspire and mobilize the people was a testament to his leadership and vision. The destruction of the idols was a turning point in Judah's history, signaling a renewed commitment to the covenant with Yahweh. Hezekiah's actions demonstrated that true leadership requires both courage and conviction, especially when confronting deeply entrenched beliefs. The destruction of the idols had far-reaching implications for Judah's spiritual and social fabric. By removing the physical symbols of apostasy, Hezekiah created an environment conducive to spiritual growth and renewal. The people's renewed focus on Yahweh led to a resurgence of religious practices and a deeper commitment to living according to God's laws. Hezekiah's campaign against idolatry was a powerful reminder of the importance of maintaining spiritual purity and the transformative power of righteous leadership. His actions set a precedent for future generations, demonstrating that true devotion to God requires both personal and communal commitment to righteousness. As Hezekiah's reforms took root, a new and formidable challenge emerged: the threat of the Assyrian Empire. The Assyrians, under King Sennacherib, were expanding their territory and posed a significant threat to Judah. The Assyrian military was known for its brutality and efficiency, and their conquests left a trail of destruction. Hezekiah faced a daunting task as he prepared Judah to withstand the impending invasion. His initial response was one of pragmatism and diplomacy, as he sought to buy time and perhaps avoid conflict by paying a hefty tribute to Sennacherib. However, Hezekiah soon realized that appeasement would not ensure Judah's safety, and he began to prepare for war. Hezekiah's preparations for the Assyrian threat were comprehensive and strategic. He fortified Jerusalem, reinforcing its walls and building new defensive structures. One of his most significant achievements was the construction of the Siloam Tunnel, an impressive engineering feat that ensured a steady water supply to the city during a siege. This tunnel, carved through solid rock, redirected water from the Gihon Spring to the Pool of Siloam within the city walls. Hezekiah's foresight and ingenuity in this project demonstrated his commitment to safeguarding his people and city. The fortifications and infrastructure improvements provided a tangible sense of security and boosted the morale of the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Despite Hezekiah's efforts, the Assyrian threat loomed large, and the people of Judah faced immense fear and uncertainty. Sennacherib's army advanced, capturing fortified cities and spreading terror throughout the region. The psychological warfare employed by the Assyrians, including taunting messages and threats of annihilation, aimed to demoralize Hezekiah and his people. In the face of this overwhelming force, Hezekiah's faith and leadership were put to the ultimate test. He turned to prayer, seeking divine intervention and guidance. The prophet Isaiah played a crucial role during this period, providing Hezekiah with assurances of God's protection and deliverance. Hezekiah's reliance on prayer and prophetic counsel was a powerful demonstration of his unwavering faith in God's promises. The climax of the Assyrian threat came when Sennacherib's forces laid siege to Jerusalem. The situation seemed dire, and the city's fall appeared imminent. However, Hezekiah's steadfast faith and fervent prayers were answered in a miraculous way. According to biblical accounts, an angel of the Lord struck down 185,000 Assyrian soldiers in a single night, forcing Sennacherib to retreat and abandon his campaign against Judah. This miraculous deliverance was a testament to God's power and faithfulness, and it solidified Hezekiah's legacy as a king who trusted in divine intervention. The defeat of the Assyrians was a pivotal moment in Hezekiah's reign, demonstrating that faith and prayer could overcome even the most formidable adversaries. Hezekiah's reign was characterized by significant advancements in infrastructure, particularly in the areas of fortifications and water supply. In preparation for the Assyrian threat, Hezekiah undertook extensive building projects to strengthen Jerusalem's defenses. The fortifications included the expansion and reinforcement of the city's walls, making them more resilient against potential attacks. Hezekiah also constructed new towers and fortified key points around the city, creating a formidable defensive network. These efforts were not only practical measures for defense, but also symbols of Hezekiah's commitment to protecting his people and his city. The enhanced fortifications provided a sense of security and confidence to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. One of Hezekiah's most remarkable engineering achievements was the construction of the Siloam Tunnel, also known as Hezekiah's Tunnel. This tunnel was designed to address the critical need for a reliable water supply during a siege. The Gihon Spring, located outside the city walls, was vulnerable to enemy control. To secure this vital resource, Hezekiah commissioned the construction of a tunnel that would redirect water from the spring into the Pool of Siloam within the city. The project involved digging through approximately 1,750 feet of solid rock, an impressive feat of ancient engineering. The tunnel ensured that Jerusalem would have access to fresh water even if the city was surrounded by enemy forces. The construction of the Siloam Tunnel was a testament to Hezekiah's ingenuity and determination. The project required careful planning, coordination, and skilled labor. Workers began digging from both ends of the tunnel, eventually meeting in the middle with remarkable precision. This achievement not only demonstrated Hezekiah's practical leadership, but also his ability to inspire and mobilize his people for a common goal. The tunnel's completion was a significant milestone in Jerusalem's preparations for the Assyrian siege and highlighted Hezekiah's proactive approach to safeguarding his kingdom. The Siloam Tunnel remains an enduring symbol of Hezekiah's legacy and a testament to the engineering prowess of ancient Judah. Hezekiah's focus on fortifications and aqueducts extended beyond the immediate needs of defense. His building projects also contributed to the overall prosperity and stability of Judah. The improved infrastructure facilitated trade, agriculture, and daily life for the inhabitants of Jerusalem. By ensuring a reliable water supply and robust defenses, Hezekiah created an environment where his people could thrive despite external threats. His leadership in these areas demonstrated a holistic approach to governance, addressing both the physical and spiritual needs of his kingdom. Hezekiah's commitment to infrastructure development was a key factor in the success of his reign and left a lasting impact on the history of Judah. The Assyrian siege of Jerusalem was one of the most intense and challenging periods of Hezekiah's reign. The formidable Assyrian army, led by King Sennacherib, had already conquered much of Judah and now threatened the heart of the kingdom. The people of Jerusalem faced the terrifying prospect of destruction and captivity. In this moment of crisis, Hezekiah's faith and leadership were put to the ultimate test. Hezekiah's response to the siege was characterized by a profound reliance on prayer and divine intervention. Hezekiah's first act was to seek the Lord's guidance through fervent prayer. He recognized that Judah's survival depended not on military might but on divine favor. Hezekiah's prayers were heartfelt and desperate, reflecting his deep faith in God's power to deliver his people. Hezekiah also sought the counsel of the prophet Isaiah, who provided reassurance and prophetic insight. Isaiah's messages were a source of strength and hope for Hezekiah and the people of Jerusalem. The prophet assured them that God had heard their prayers and would deliver them from the Assyrian threat. Isaiah's prophecies emphasized God's sovereignty and the futility of the Assyrian king's arrogance. This divine assurance bolstered Hezekiah's confidence and reinforced his determination to stand firm in faith. The psychological warfare employed by the Assyrians was intense, as they taunted the inhabitants of Jerusalem and attempted to undermine their faith. Sennacherib's envoys delivered messages filled with threats and blasphemy, mocking Hezekiah's reliance on God and promising inevitable defeat. In response, Hezekiah displayed remarkable composure and unwavering faith. He instructed the people to trust in the Lord and not be swayed by the enemy's intimidation tactics. Hezekiah's leadership during this period was crucial in maintaining the morale and unity of the city's defenders. The climax of the siege came when Sennacherib's forces encamped outside Jerusalem, preparing for a final assault. In the face of overwhelming odds, Hezekiah's faith remained unshaken. He once again turned to prayer, laying the Assyrian threats before the Lord in the temple. According to biblical accounts, God responded to Hezekiah's prayers in a dramatic and miraculous way. An angel of the Lord struck down 185,000 Assyrian soldiers in a single night, forcing Sennacherib to retreat and abandon his campaign against Judah. This miraculous deliverance was a powerful testament to God's faithfulness and the effectiveness of Hezekiah's prayers. The defeat of the Assyrians not only saved Jerusalem, but also solidified Hezekiah's legacy as a king who trusted in divine intervention. The siege of Jerusalem under Hezekiah's leadership stands as a profound example of faith under pressure and the power of prayer to overcome even the most formidable adversaries. The miraculous deliverance of Jerusalem from the Assyrian siege was a pivotal moment in Hezekiah's reign and a testament to the power of faith and prayer. The city faced an imminent threat of destruction, with the Assyrian army encamped outside its walls and ready to launch a final assault. In this dire situation, Hezekiah's unwavering faith and reliance on divine intervention became the key to Judah's salvation. Hezekiah's response to the crisis was characterized by a deep trust in God's promises. He sought the Lord's guidance through prayer, laying the threats and blasphemous messages of the Assyrians before him in the temple. Hezekiah's prayers were heartfelt and fervent, reflecting his absolute dependence on God's power to deliver his people. Hezekiah's faith was not just a private matter, but a public declaration of his trust in the Lord. He gathered the people of Jerusalem and encouraged them to stand firm in their faith, reminding them that God was their ultimate protector. Hezekiah's leadership during this crisis was inspirational, as he led by example and demonstrated his unwavering commitment to trust in God. The response to Hezekiah's prayers came in the form of a miraculous intervention. According to biblical accounts, an angel of the Lord descended upon the Assyrian camp during the night and struck down 185,000 soldiers. This divine act of deliverance forced Sennacherib to retreat and abandon his campaign against Judah. The miraculous defeat of the Assyrian army was a powerful testament to God's sovereignty and faithfulness. The people of Jerusalem awoke to find their enemies vanquished, and their city spared from destruction. This extraordinary event solidified Hezekiah's legacy as a king who trusted in the power of prayer and divine intervention. The miracle of deliverance had profound implications for Judah and its people. It not only saved Jerusalem from destruction, but also strengthened the faith of the inhabitants and reaffirmed their covenant relationship with God. The miraculous intervention demonstrated that God was not distant or indifferent to the plight of his people, but actively involved in their deliverance. This event became a defining moment in Judah's history, a testament to the power of faith and the effectiveness of fervent prayer. Hezekiah's story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of trusting in God's promises and the transformative power of prayer. His unwavering faith and reliance on divine intervention offer valuable lessons for believers today, reminding us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, faith can move mountains and bring about miraculous deliverance. The miracle of deliverance during Hezekiah's reign stands as a testament to the enduring power of faith and the boundless possibilities of divine intervention. In the midst of his remarkable reign, Hezekiah faced a personal crisis that tested his faith and resilience in profound ways. He fell gravely ill, afflicted by a severe disease that brought him to the brink of death. This illness was not just a physical trial, but also a spiritual and emotional challenge for Hezekiah. As he lay bedridden, he received a message from the prophet Isaiah, who delivered a dire prophecy. Hezekiah was to set his house in order, for he would not recover from his illness. This devastating news shook Hezekiah to his core, but it also sparked a fervent and heartfelt response from the king. Faced with the prospect of death, Hezekiah turned to the one source of hope and healing he knew, the Lord. In a deeply emotional and sincere prayer, Hezekiah pleaded with God for mercy and healing. He reminded God of his faithfulness and the righteous deeds he had performed in service to him. Hezekiah's prayer was not just a plea for survival, but a testament to his unwavering faith and his belief in God's power to heal and restore. This moment of intense prayer and supplication highlighted Hezekiah's deep spiritual connection and his reliance on divine intervention in times of distress. Hezekiah's earnest prayers did not go unanswered. God, moved by Hezekiah's sincerity and faith, sent Isaiah back to deliver a new message, a message of hope and healing. Isaiah informed Hezekiah that the Lord had heard his prayers and seen his tears, and as a result, Hezekiah's life would be extended by 15 years. This divine intervention was a powerful affirmation of God's compassion and responsiveness to heartfelt prayer. To confirm the promise of healing, God provided a miraculous sign. The shadow on the sundial of Ahaz would move backward 10 steps. This supernatural event served as a tangible confirmation of God's promise and a testament to his sovereign power. The miraculous recovery of Hezekiah had far-reaching implications for his reign and the nation of Judah. It reaffirmed the importance of faith and prayer in the life of the king and his people. Hezekiah's experience demonstrated that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, God's power to heal and restore was boundless. This episode in Hezekiah's life serves as a profound reminder of the transformative power of prayer and the importance of maintaining a steadfast faith in God's promises. Hezekiah's illness and miraculous recovery stand as a testament to the enduring strength and resilience that come from a deep and abiding faith in God. The miraculous sign of the receding shadow was a pivotal moment in Hezekiah's life, serving as a divine confirmation of God's promise to extend his life. After receiving the prophecy of his healing from the prophet Isaiah, Hezekiah sought a tangible sign from God to assure him of the truth of this promise. In response, God provided an extraordinary miracle. The shadow on the sundial of Ahaz would move backward 10 steps. This event was not only a confirmation of God's promise, but also a powerful demonstration of his sovereign control over time and nature. The sign of the receding shadow was a profound moment of divine intervention that defied natural laws. The sundial, an ancient timekeeping device, relied on the consistent movement of the sun's shadow to measure time. For the shadow to move backward was an unprecedented event that could only be attributed to a supernatural act of God. This miracle served as a tangible and visible confirmation of God's power and his ability to fulfill his promises. For Hezekiah, this sign was a source of immense comfort and reassurance, reinforcing his faith and trust in God's word. The impact of the receding shadow extended beyond Hezekiah to the people of Judah. This miraculous event became a testimony to the nation of God's faithfulness and his willingness to intervene in the lives of his people. It reinforced the belief that God was actively involved in the affairs of Judah and that his promises were reliable and trustworthy. The sign of the receding shadow became a symbol of hope and divine favor, inspiring the people to place their faith in God and to trust in his ability to deliver and heal. This event also highlighted the importance of seeking God's guidance and confirmation in times of uncertainty. The story of the receding shadow is a powerful reminder of the importance of faith and the miraculous possibilities that arise from trusting in God's promises. Hezekiah's experience demonstrates that God is not limited by natural laws and that his power extends beyond the boundaries of human understanding. The miraculous sign of the receding shadow stands as a testament to the boundless nature of God's power and the transformative impact of divine intervention. For believers today, this story serves as an encouragement to trust in God's promises and to seek his guidance and confirmation in all aspects of life. The visit from Babylon marked a significant episode in Hezekiah's reign, highlighting both his accomplishments and his vulnerabilities. Following his miraculous recovery, Hezekiah received envoys from the king of Babylon, Merodach-Baladan, who had heard of his illness and remarkable recovery. This visit was a diplomatic gesture, aimed at establishing friendly relations and perhaps seeking an alliance against the common threat of Assyria. Hezekiah, flattered by the attention and eager to showcase the prosperity of his kingdom, welcomed the envoys with open arms and proudly displayed the treasures of his palace and the wealth of Judah. Hezekiah's decision to show the Babylonian envoys the wealth of his kingdom was a moment of pride and perhaps a lapse in judgment. In his eagerness to impress his visitors, he revealed the extent of Judah's riches, including the treasures of the temple and the royal storehouses. This display of wealth, while intended to strengthen diplomatic ties, inadvertently exposed Judah's vulnerabilities. The Babylonian envoys took careful note of the riches they saw, and this information would later influence Babylon's ambitions regarding Judah. Hezekiah's actions in this episode highlight the complexities of leadership and the fine line between diplomacy and overexposure. The visit from Babylon and Hezekiah's actions during it did not go unnoticed by the prophet Isaiah. Upon learning of the visit and the display of wealth, Isaiah confronted Hezekiah and delivered a sobering prophecy. He foretold that the very treasures shown to the Babylonians would one day be carried off to Babylon, and that some of Hezekiah's own descendants would be taken into exile. This prophecy was a stark reminder of the long-term consequences of Hezekiah's actions and served as a warning about the dangers of pride and misplaced trust. Isaiah's message underscored the importance of humility and reliance on God, rather than on material wealth and foreign alliances. The visit from Babylon and the subsequent prophecy had significant implications for Hezekiah and the future of Judah. While Hezekiah's reign continued to be marked by faithfulness and reform, this episode served as a reminder of his human frailty and the potential consequences of his actions. The prophecy of future exile cast a shadow over Judah's prosperity and highlighted the importance of maintaining a steadfast reliance on God. For Hezekiah, this event was a humbling experience that reinforced the need for vigilance and discernment in leadership. The visit from Babylon remains a powerful lesson in the complexities of diplomacy, the dangers of pride, and the enduring importance of humility and faith. The prophecy of Isaiah regarding the future of Judah and Hezekiah's descendants was a pivotal moment that cast a long shadow over the king's reign. Following the visit from the Babylonian envoys, Isaiah confronted Hezekiah and delivered a prophetic message that would shape the destiny of Judah. He foretold that all the treasures Hezekiah had shown to the Babylonians would one day be carried off to Babylon, and that some of Hezekiah's own descendants would be taken into exile and serve in the court of the Babylonian king. This prophecy was a stark and sobering reminder of the consequences of Hezekiah's actions and the precarious nature of Judah's future. Isaiah's prophecy highlighted the far-reaching implications of Hezekiah's decision to display Judah's wealth to the Babylonian envoys. While the visit had seemed like a diplomatic success, it had inadvertently sown the seeds of future calamity. Isaiah's message underscored the importance of wisdom and discernment in leadership and the need to be cautious about revealing one's vulnerabilities to potential adversaries. The prophecy also served as a reminder that material wealth and political alliances were fleeting and ultimately less important than faithfulness to God. Isaiah's words were a call to humility and a warning about the dangers of pride and complacency. Hezekiah's reaction to Isaiah's prophecy was one of humility and acceptance. Rather than reacting with anger or defiance, he acknowledged the truth of Isaiah's words and submitted to God's will. Hezekiah's response demonstrated his deep faith and trust in God's sovereignty, even in the face of troubling news. He recognized that the future of Judah was in God's hands and that his role was to remain faithful and obedient. This attitude of humility and submission was a testament to Hezekiah's character and his unwavering commitment to God. It also set an example for future generations, showing the importance of accepting divine correction and seeking God's guidance in all circumstances. The prophecy of Isaiah had long-lasting implications for Judah and its people. It foreshadowed the eventual Babylonian exile, a period of great trial and transformation for the nation. While Hezekiah's reign continued to be marked by faithfulness and reform, the prophecy served as a constant reminder of the need for vigilance and reliance on God. It also highlighted the interconnectedness of individual actions and national destiny, emphasizing that the choices of leaders could have profound and lasting effects on their people. For Hezekiah, Isaiah's prophecy was a humbling reminder of the responsibilities of leadership and the importance of maintaining a steadfast faith in God's promises. Hezekiah's reign was not only marked by religious reforms and military challenges, but also by significant social and economic improvements that transformed the lives of his people. Recognizing that true prosperity and stability required more than just spiritual renewal, Hezekiah implemented policies that promoted social justice, economic fairness, and overall well-being. His reforms were comprehensive, addressing various aspects of daily life and creating a more equitable and prosperous society. Hezekiah's leadership in this area demonstrated his commitment to the holistic well-being of his people and his vision for a just and thriving kingdom. One of Hezekiah's key initiatives was the promotion of agricultural development and the improvement of infrastructure. He implemented measures to increase agricultural productivity, ensuring that the land could support the growing population and provide ample food supplies. Hezekiah also invested in the construction and maintenance of roads, bridges, and storage facilities, facilitating trade and commerce. These improvements not only boosted the economy but also enhanced the quality of life for the inhabitants of Judah. By prioritizing infrastructure development, Hezekiah created a foundation for sustained economic growth and stability. In addition to economic reforms, Hezekiah focused on social justice and the well-being of the vulnerable members of society. He enacted policies to protect the rights of the poor, the widows, and the orphans, ensuring that they received fair treatment and support. Hezekiah's administration worked to eliminate corruption and ensure that justice was administered fairly and impartially. This emphasis on social justice helped to create a more cohesive and harmonious society, where all members were valued and protected. Hezekiah's commitment to social equity was a reflection of his deep faith and his belief in the principles of righteousness and compassion. Hezekiah's social and economic reforms had a lasting impact on Judah, contributing to a period of prosperity and stability. The improvements in agriculture, infrastructure, and social justice created a more resilient and thriving society, capable of withstanding external threats and internal challenges. Hezekiah's holistic approach to governance demonstrated that true leadership involves addressing both the spiritual and material needs of the people. His reign serves as a powerful example of how visionary leadership and compassionate policies can transform a nation and improve the lives of its citizens. Hezekiah's legacy of social and economic reform remains an enduring testament to the power of just and equitable governance. The relationship between Hezekiah and the prophet Isaiah was one of profound mutual respect and spiritual collaboration. Isaiah, one of the most prominent prophets of the Old Testament, served as a spiritual advisor and confidant to Hezekiah throughout his reign. This partnership was crucial in guiding the king through both triumphs and tribulations. Isaiah's prophecies and counsel provided Hezekiah with divine insight and direction, reinforcing his faith and determination to lead Judah according to God's will. The influence of Isaiah on Hezekiah's reign was a testament to the power of prophetic guidance and the importance of seeking wisdom from those deeply connected to the divine. Isaiah's role in Hezekiah's reign was multifaceted. He not only provided spiritual counsel but also acted as a voice of warning and encouragement. When Hezekiah faced the Assyrian threat, it was Isaiah who reassured him of God's protection and foretold the miraculous deliverance of Jerusalem. Isaiah's prophecies were instrumental in bolstering Hezekiah's faith and the morale of the people. His messages emphasized God's sovereignty and the importance of trusting in divine power rather than relying solely on human strength and political alliances. Isaiah's presence in the court of Hezekiah was a constant reminder of the need for spiritual fidelity and dependence on God's guidance. The influence of Isaiah extended beyond moments of crisis. He was also a key figure in supporting Hezekiah's religious reforms and efforts to purify the worship practices in Judah. Isaiah's teachings reinforced the importance of true worship, social justice, and adherence to God's commandments. His prophetic messages often called the people to repentance and a renewed commitment to righteousness. This alignment of vision and purpose between the prophet and the king created a powerful synergy that drove the spiritual revival in Judah. Isaiah's influence helped shape Hezekiah's policies and decisions, ensuring that they were rooted in a deep understanding of God's will and purpose for the nation. The legacy of Isaiah's influence on Hezekiah's reign is a powerful testament to the impact of spiritual mentorship and prophetic guidance. Their partnership demonstrates the importance of having wise and godly counsel in leadership, particularly in times of challenge and uncertainty. Isaiah's role as a prophet and advisor not only shaped the course of Hezekiah's reign, but also left an enduring impact on the spiritual life of Judah. For Hezekiah, Isaiah was more than just a prophet. He was a source of strength, wisdom, and divine insight. Their relationship serves as a model of how collaboration between spiritual leaders and political authorities can lead to profound and lasting transformation. The geopolitical landscape of Hezekiah's time was marked by the looming threat of the Assyrian Empire and the complex web of alliances and conflicts among neighboring nations. One of the significant strategic moves during Hezekiah's reign was his attempt to form an alliance with Egypt, aimed at countering the growing power of Assyria. This alliance was a controversial and risky decision, reflecting the challenging choices Hezekiah faced as he navigated the treacherous waters of international politics. The alliance with Egypt, while offering potential military support, also posed significant spiritual and political risks for Judah. Hezekiah's decision to seek an alliance with Egypt was driven by the need to strengthen Judah's defenses against the formidable Assyrian forces. The Assyrians had already demonstrated their military prowess by conquering the northern kingdom of Israel and other territories. In this context, an alliance with Egypt seemed like a pragmatic choice, offering the promise of additional military support against the common enemy. However, this decision was met with mixed reactions. While some saw it as a necessary strategic move, others, including the prophet Isaiah, warned against relying on foreign alliances instead of trusting in God's protection and guidance. Isaiah's opposition to the alliance with Egypt was rooted in his prophetic vision and understanding of God's will for Judah. He cautioned Hezekiah and the people against placing their trust in the strength of foreign powers rather than in the sovereign power of God. Isaiah's messages emphasized that true security and deliverance would come from faithfulness to God and reliance on his protection. The prophet's warnings were a reminder of the spiritual dangers of compromising one's faith and integrity for the sake of political expediency. Isaiah's counsel underscored the importance of maintaining a clear and unwavering commitment to God's commands and promises. The alliance with Egypt ultimately proved to be a mixed blessing. While it provided a temporary sense of security, it did not prevent the Assyrian threat from materializing. The eventual siege of Jerusalem by Sennacherib's forces demonstrated the limitations of relying on human alliances for protection. In the end, it was not the military support of Egypt but the miraculous intervention of God that delivered Jerusalem from destruction. This episode in Hezekiah's reign serves as a powerful lesson about the importance of placing one's trust in divine rather than human power. The alliance with Egypt highlighted the complex interplay between political strategy and spiritual faith, and the ultimate futility of relying on worldly alliances for true security. The Ark of the Covenant, the sacred chest containing the tablets of the Ten Commandments, was central to the religious life of Judah during Hezekiah's reign. The Ark symbolized God's presence and covenant with his people, and its role in worship was of paramount importance. Hezekiah's efforts to restore and purify the worship practices in Judah included a renewed focus on the Ark and its significance. This emphasis on the Ark and the proper worship of Yahweh was a key aspect of Hezekiah's religious reforms and his commitment to leading the nation back to true devotion and obedience to God. Hezekiah understood that the Ark of the Covenant was more than just a religious artifact. It was a tangible representation of God's presence and a focal point for worship. His efforts to restore the temple and reinstate the proper worship practices included ensuring that the Ark was treated with the reverence and honor it deserved. Hezekiah's reforms included the reinstitution of regular sacrifices, offerings, and festivals, all centered around the Arkansas. This revival of temple worship was a powerful statement of Judah's renewed commitment to the covenant relationship with God and the importance of maintaining a holy and dedicated place for his presence. The focus on the Ark and the proper worship of Yahweh had a profound impact on the spiritual life of Judah. It helped to reestablish a sense of national identity and purpose, centered on the worship of the one true God. The rituals and ceremonies associated with the Ark served as a reminder of God's faithfulness and the responsibilities of his people to live according to his commandments. Hezekiah's leadership in this area was instrumental in fostering a spirit of reverence and devotion among the people. The renewed focus on the Ark and temple worship also provided a sense of continuity and connection with the past, reinforcing the enduring nature of God's covenant with his people. Hezekiah's efforts to restore the Ark of the Covenant and the proper worship practices were not without challenges. The previous periods of idolatry and neglect had left their mark, and it took considerable effort to cleanse the temple and reinstate the rituals correctly. However, Hezekiah's determination and unwavering faith guided these reforms, leading to a period of spiritual renewal and revival in Judah. The emphasis on the Ark and the worship of Yahweh was a testament to Hezekiah's commitment to leading his people in accordance with divine principles. This focus on the Ark and proper worship remains a powerful example of the importance of maintaining a sacred and dedicated space for God's presence in the life of a nation. Hezekiah's reign offers valuable lessons in leadership that remain relevant and inspiring for leaders today. His commitment to spiritual renewal, social justice, and national security demonstrated a holistic approach to governance that addressed both the physical and spiritual needs of his people. One of the key lessons from Hezekiah's leadership is the importance of aligning one's actions with core values and principles. Hezekiah's unwavering dedication to restoring true worship and purifying the nation from idolatry was driven by his deep faith and commitment to God's commands. This alignment of values and actions created a strong foundation for his leadership and inspired the trust and loyalty of his people. Another important lesson from Hezekiah's leadership is the significance of resilience and adaptability in the face of challenges. Hezekiah faced numerous crises during his reign, from the threat of Assyrian invasion to his own life-threatening illness. In each of these situations, Hezekiah demonstrated resilience and adaptability, seeking divine guidance and taking decisive action. His ability to navigate these challenges with faith and determination was a key factor in his success as a leader. Hezekiah's resilience serves as a powerful reminder that effective leadership requires the ability to remain steadfast in one's convictions while also being flexible and responsive to changing circumstances. Hezekiah's leadership also highlights the importance of seeking wise counsel and building strong partnerships. His relationship with the prophet Isaiah was a critical component of his reign, providing Hezekiah with spiritual guidance and prophetic insight. This partnership underscored the value of surrounding oneself with trusted advisors who can offer diverse perspectives and support. Hezekiah's willingness to listen to and act on Isaiah's counsel demonstrated humility, and a recognition of the importance of collaborative leadership. This approach to leadership fosters a culture of mutual respect and shared purpose, which is essential for achieving long-term success and stability. Finally, Hezekiah's reign illustrates the transformative power of faith and prayer in leadership. Throughout his reign, Hezekiah consistently sought God's guidance and intervention through prayer. Whether facing military threats or personal health crises, Hezekiah's reliance on prayer was a testament to his deep faith and trust in God's sovereignty. This spiritual dimension of leadership not only provided Hezekiah with strength and clarity, but also inspired his people to place their trust in God. The power of faith and prayer in Hezekiah's leadership serves as a powerful example of the importance of maintaining a spiritual foundation in all aspects of life and leadership. Hezekiah's reign is recorded in the annals of Judah as a period of significant religious, social, and political transformation. The historical accounts of his reign highlight his numerous accomplishments and the profound impact of his leadership on the nation. Hezekiah's commitment to restoring true worship, his efforts to purify the temple, and his comprehensive reforms are documented as key aspects of his legacy. The annals also recount his military achievements, including the miraculous deliverance from the Assyrian siege and the fortifications that strengthened Jerusalem's defenses. These records serve as a testament to Hezekiah's vision and determination to lead Judah according to God's will. The historical accounts of Hezekiah's reign also emphasize the challenges he faced and the resilience he demonstrated in overcoming them. The threats from powerful adversaries, the internal struggles with idolatry, and the personal trials, such as his severe illness, are all chronicled as significant events that shaped his reign. These records highlight Hezekiah's ability to navigate complex and often perilous situations with faith and wisdom. The detailed documentation of his reign provides valuable insights into the qualities and actions that defined Hezekiah's leadership and contributed to his enduring legacy. In addition to his accomplishments, the annals of Judah also reflect on the lessons learned from Hezekiah's reign. The accounts of his interactions with the prophet Isaiah, his efforts to seek divine guidance, and the prophetic warnings he received are all significant aspects of his story. These elements of the historical record underscore the importance of spiritual fidelity and the consequences of actions taken in moments of pride or vulnerability. The reflections on Hezekiah's reign offer a balanced perspective, acknowledging both his strengths and his human frailties. This nuanced portrayal provides a comprehensive understanding of Hezekiah's impact on the history and spiritual life of Judah. Hezekiah's place in the annals of Judah is a testament to his profound influence on the nation's trajectory. His reign is remembered as a time of spiritual revival, social justice, and national resilience. The historical records of his leadership continue to inspire and inform future generations, offering valuable lessons in faith, governance, and the importance of aligning one's actions with divine principles. Hezekiah's legacy in the annals of Judah is a powerful reminder of the enduring impact of righteous leadership and the transformative power of faith and prayer in shaping the destiny of a nation. Hezekiah's legacy is defined by his unwavering faith and courage in the face of immense challenges. His reign serves as a powerful example of how steadfast faith and bold leadership can bring about profound transformation and renewal. Hezekiah's commitment to restoring true worship and purifying the nation from idolatry was driven by his deep belief in God's sovereignty and the importance of maintaining a covenant relationship with him. This unwavering commitment to faith set the tone for his entire reign and inspired his people to follow his example. Hezekiah's legacy of faith and courage continues to resonate as a testament to the power of divine trust and the impact of righteous leadership. The courage demonstrated by Hezekiah during the Assyrian siege is one of the most defining aspects of his legacy. Faced with a formidable and ruthless enemy, Hezekiah's response was characterized by resilience and an unshakable trust in God's protection. His decision to seek divine intervention through fervent prayer and his reliance on the prophetic counsel of Isaiah were pivotal in securing the miraculous deliverance of Jerusalem. This act of faith and courage not only saved the city but also solidified Hezekiah's reputation as a leader who trusted in God's promises. The miraculous defeat of the Assyrian army stands as a testament to the power of faith and the importance of seeking divine guidance in times of crisis. Hezekiah's legacy also includes his commitment to social justice and the well-being of his people. His reforms in agriculture, infrastructure, and social policies created a more just and prosperous society. Hezekiah's efforts to protect the rights of the vulnerable and ensure fair treatment for all members of society reflected his deep sense of compassion and righteousness. These actions demonstrated that true leadership involves addressing both the spiritual and material needs of the people. Hezekiah's holistic approach to governance left a lasting impact on Judah, contributing to a period of stability and prosperity that benefited all its inhabitants. The enduring impact of Hezekiah's faith and courage is reflected in the way his story continues to inspire and instruct. His reign is remembered as a time of spiritual revival, social reform, and national resilience. Hezekiah's example serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of maintaining a strong faith and trust in God, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. His legacy of faith and courage offers valuable lessons for leaders and believers today, emphasizing the transformative power of righteous leadership and the enduring impact of a life lived in accordance with divine principles. Hezekiah's story stands as a testament to the enduring strength and resilience that come from a deep and abiding faith in God. The life and reign of King Hezekiah are a powerful testament to the transformative power of faith, courage, and righteous leadership. From his early determination to cleanse Judah of idolatry to his miraculous deliverance from the Assyrian siege, Hezekiah's story is one of unwavering commitment to God's will and trust in his promises. Hezekiah's efforts to restore true worship, implement social and economic reforms, and seek divine guidance in times of crisis were all driven by his deep faith and his desire to lead his people in accordance with God's commands. His reign stands as a shining example of the impact that a faithful and courageous leader can have on a nation. Hezekiah's legacy is defined by his ability to navigate immense challenges with resilience and an unshakable trust in God. His response to the Assyrian threat, his personal health crisis, and his efforts to reform the nation all demonstrate the qualities of a leader who placed his faith in divine power rather than human strength. Hezekiah's reliance on prayer, his partnership with the prophet Isaiah, and his commitment to social justice all contributed to a period of spiritual renewal and national stability in Judah. His story serves as a reminder that true leadership involves a holistic approach that addresses both the spiritual and material needs of the people. The impact of Hezekiah's reign extends far beyond his lifetime, offering valuable lessons for leaders and believers today. His example of faith and courage in the face of adversity, his commitment to righteousness and justice, and his reliance on divine guidance continue to inspire and instruct. Hezekiah's story is a powerful reminder of the importance of maintaining a strong relationship with God and the transformative power of righteous leadership. His legacy endures as a testament to the enduring strength and resilience that come from a deep and abiding faith in God's promises. In conclusion, the story of King Hezekiah is a remarkable journey of faith, courage, and leadership. His reign is a powerful example of how unwavering trust in God can bring about profound transformation and renewal. Hezekiah's commitment to restoring true worship, his efforts to implement social and economic reforms, and his reliance on divine guidance all contributed to a period of spiritual revival and national stability in Judah. His legacy continues to inspire and offer valuable lessons for leaders and believers today, emphasizing the importance of faith, courage, and righteous leadership in shaping the destiny of a nation. The story of Hezekiah remains a timeless testament to the enduring power of faith and the impact of a life lived in accordance with divine principles.